My mic was muted. I caught it early. Oh wait, and my application audio is wrong. Let's lock this in quickly and fix this. Which one is it? There we go. I think that should be it. All right. So I don't really have a topic to talk about right now. I didn't really think about it, but I think I'm going to talk about cycling. Just something I'm into, and I think I could ramble about it for 15 minutes or so. It's a weird looking chicken right here. Yes, we're going to talk about cycling a little bit. Specifically, I guess, I don't know. Do I even want to talk about cycling? Dude, I've got like no good topic to think about. I didn't really think about this beforehand at all. I just kind of sent it. I guess I said I'll talk about cycling, so I should figure out how to ramble about it for a few minutes. Yeah, so I started cycling about a year ago, and I actually started riding my dad's old mountain bike from 92 or whatever. The bike is older than I am. I started riding that, and I've always been like a big bike person, like, two wheels kind of bike. Oh, two wheels kind of bike. What kind of bike doesn't have two wheels? I kind of do need some food here, though. I've always been a pretty big bike person, but also I used to race BMX. Oh my goodness, I just got struck by lightning. Yeah, so I used... Okay, can we not? Okay, so as I was saying, I used to race BMX. And so I started riding my dad's. This was probably 10, around 10 years ago. I used to race, and then I ended up stopping because we ended up moving, and then the track near me went under like renovations and stuff, so I had to stop. And it wasn't feasible to drive, 45 minutes to an hour 3 times a week for like a 10, 11-year-old to go race BMX. So yeah, I guess that's like the background of why I've been into why I've been into like bikes. And then I randomly decided to pick up my dad's mountain bike and start riding it. I was doing some decent little rides. It started off with just a 5-mile I would do, and I think I did that quite a bit. And then I started, finally a village. And then I started like really kind of trying to push the distances a little bit, and I told myself if I could ride, I think it was 300 miles in a month, then I would look at buying my own actual bike. So I started looking at it and started riding. Oh, it's actually going pretty good. Give me that. It's going pretty good, but the bike was so uncomfortable. But, long story short, I ended up riding about 300 miles in a month, and I still loved it, so then I started looking at getting my own bike. And I went into this bike shop near me which was also a cafe, and I was kind of talking to some guy about, oh, you know, I want to get into cycling. I don't really know where to start, don't know what I want. So we talked about bikes a little bit, and then we ended up kind of just figuring out that I wanted a gravel bike. Forgot I had that. Why are there so many creepers? So we ended up figuring out that the bike I wanted to get was a gravel bike. And if you don't know, a gravel bike is like a road bike. So it's got drop bars, you know. Skinnier tires. A gravel bike, it's got thicker tires. You can't, I mean, nowadays you can fit mountain bike tires on it, but you used to not be able to. So I ended up getting one of those. It took them, Jesus, it took them 2 or so months of trying to hunt down this bike because it was in the middle of the summer. Eventually they found it. They found the bike, got it shipped to the store, and I went to go pick it up. And on the ride back, man, looking back at it now, like, I was like so not riding great, but I told myself I want to ride back from the store with it. I don't want to, you know, put it in the car. I think it's just a cooler experience to ride back, so I ended up riding back. Ended up, you know, just riding a lot, and I would say I started enjoying, you know, trying to go faster and kind of push myself to see how fast I could get. But it kind of stopped and like stagnated a little bit at, I'd say, the 15-mile-an-hour mark. Like I used to be able to ride, and once I hit about 15 miles an hour, that was kind of like the stopping point. But recently I've been able to, well, I say recently because I've been doing a lot of group rides and a lot of like harder training rides, I guess you could say. Recently I've been kind of locked in on it a little bit more. And I started, you know, now I can average like 17, 18, including stops, which is actually pretty quick. Especially for a gravel bike. It's nothing like crazy, but you know, I go to these group rides when I'm down in college. I go to these group rides and it's filled with old people, right? They're just a bunch of old retired people, and I show up on a gravel bike and all of these people are riding their crazy fancy electric road bikes or $10,000 road bikes, and I'm over here showing up with a gravel bike and outpacing them. And then we do these things called rollouts, and rollouts are basically just where you can like go fast. It's unlike smaller group rides, I guess, like, because this was a 12 to 14 mile an hour group ride. There were only a few that I could actually make every single week, and this was one of them. The other one, that was on a Monday. The other one was on a Wednesday, and that's 16 to 18 mile an hour group ride. And then the ones on the weekends, typically I honestly didn't really want to go to because they were early in the morning, and I had to drive about 45 minutes to get there. So I'm not leaving at like... I didn't really want to leave at like 5 in the morning to drive 45 minutes to go ride with a bunch of old people. No offense to them, but didn't want to do it. So I stayed to those like smaller ones, and man, dude, these people, some of them are cool. Some of them I feel like don't care at all, and you know, I'm just there riding. But man, some of them are like, they're on me for everything. And I passed like I would pass them in the rollout. They're going like 15. I passed them at like 20. You know, still kind of conservative, so I can like pace myself for the rest of it. And they get mad, and I don't know. It's just kind of funny. I really don't know what I'm trying to talk about here. I'm just kind of rambling. I guess it is better than like the first rambling session I had, because that, looking back, I'd had a lot of like bad pauses and stuff in it, but ooh, I'm out of torches. I don't have like Fulbright or anything, so I should probably download that. Anyways, we're talking about cycling. I was talking about a gravel bike, and then I managed to swap topics to a group ride. We have 4 minutes left. Yeah, so I found that I really like gravel riding, and that's mainly because it's like, you know, you could take it out anywhere basically and do it. And like, yeah, you could technically go down like full mountain bike trails, but there's not really a lot of them over here where I'm at. I'm in a very flat state, so mountain bike trails don't really exist, and the ones that are the ones that do, you can just take a gravel bike through, and it would probably just work better. Is that a trials chamber? I actually have not found one. Wait, is that? I know the generation will be like a straight flat wall. Maybe it's not. No, I don't think it is. But yeah, I love the gravel riding. I like that it's just kind of out. It's just kind of out there. Especially riding at night. That's something I did the other day. I rode after we ate dinner and purposefully rode back through the night. Obviously, you know, I have lights and stuff, so it's not that big of a deal. But man, that was fun. I went through this park that's near me. That's like a nature preserve. Definitely a little spooky, I would say, going through there at night. It's like a lot of like a little bit wider than single trail. I don't know if I would call it like, I don't know. It's just like walking paths through like a nature preserve. And there's definitely some animals back there. Luckily, I didn't find any. But yeah, so that I guess leaves me to where I am now. Still trying to get faster, but I'm kind of more focused on not like hard pushing myself for speed, kind of more focused on kind of just enjoying it and maybe doing like some smaller rides and then working on the average, because I know I can do... What? A zombie villager, interesting. Like, I know I can ride at like 28 miles an hour for 30 seconds max, but I want to try to, I think, hit some KOMs and stuff on Strava. I got one of them. And there's a few others that I want, but I'm not quite there yet, so that's what I'm working on, is just getting my average up a little bit. I don't have like a power meter or anything, so I can't say like how much power I'm outputting. I'll get one of those eventually. Is there an ancient city nearby? And we're at 15 minutes, so that's it. And we'll continue this tomorrow.